Greetings from the McGowan Institute for Regenerative Medicine at the University of Pittsburgh. I'm Chandan Sen, here to summarize our work to you. Now, this work is based on the premise that during spaceflight, living organisms acclimated to live on Earth undergo degenerative changes in numerous tissues. While there is abundant literature along those lines, there is also literature that living organisms under extreme living conditions that can sustain life are able to trigger adaptive responses aimed at coping with the new environment. With that in mind, we ask the question whether mice acclimated to live on Earth, when exposed to spaceflight, acquires any such resilience characteristics as manifested by adaptive changes. For this study, from a cohort of 35 mice, 17 of them were sent for spaceflight, while 18 from that cohort were maintained on Earth as ground control. First round of RNA sequencing studies showed that exposure to space environment affects these functional categories. Interestingly, DNA methylation is most affected. Other categories include stem cell biology, VEGF signaling, HIF signaling, and sirtuin signaling. All of these would point towards potential adaptive changes. To build on these initial observations, we went through additional studies and found that about a fourth of the animals sent to space actually mounted a significant adaptive response by inducing genes that are indicative of an adaptive response. Such indication or induction of adaptive genes were caused by genome-wide hypomethylation. Now, this only happened in about a fourth of all animals, and we call them responders. The rest of the animals, we call them non-responders. Welcome. I invite you to read this study, the story of the responders and non-responders, of how adaptive changes can be acquired, hopefully towards resilience. And as we know more about that, we can make spaceflight more healthy. And also some of those principles perhaps could be employed to support maintaining better health on Earth. Thank you for your attention.